But Vietnam is a experience that we'll never forget. I wish never to go back through another war though. That's something I don't wish on nobody to go back through a war. It's not to me it's not easy.
No, man.
Well, at Fort Jackson took the basic training, and from October 1966 to December of '66. Came back in December of '66 and took advanced training at Fort Jackson, and then from there to about February, I think. After that, got 2 weeks or so at home. From there straight to Vietnam.
Okay.
And then after going to Vietnam, after going there in March of 1967, took 2 weeks of training in Vietnam to be in infantry. From there, they assigned me to my combat unit, which was the first CAV, first of the fifth. Stayed 6 months. Took R&R, and from R&R, I came back, and I don't remember or recall what month it was, but I do know I stayed there until December 23rd, 1967. I got hit by a Claymore mine in a firefight. I got hit in both of my legs and in the stomach and side, and had to be medevac out from there to I was in the field, and I can't remember where in the field I was, but it was all on somewhere near Highway 1. And from Highway 1, they sent me to Quin Yon, which is a field-based hospital, and from Quin Yon to Japan. In the meantime, all they could do was just give me antibiotics and not sew me up, because I had more stitches in me than I think them enough to put in the string though. And from Japan, they took all the metal, all they could out of me, put stitches back in it, and then as I healed, I was much younger. As I healed, they put me in a whirlpool. I got in a whirlpool, and it was too early because the stitches bust, the skin bust back open. So they had to take me out of there and then reuse what they use now, like the pieces of tape, like I don't know what they made of. It's like metal to me, and it isn't metal, but it's just a tape that they tape on you to keep it act as though it's a stitch. I got sent from there to Virginia, which was at a naval hospital. Stayed at a naval hospital in Virginia for about 3 or 4 days. From there, they sent me to Fort. What's in Georgia? Fort Gordon, Georgia. The hospital there. Stayed from there from January of '68 until April of '68. Really, that's how long I stayed in the hospital, trying to recruit. Still at that time, with all that, I thought I was gonna get out the military. They relieved me from the hospital at Fort Gordon and sent me to Fort Campbell, Kentucky to do nothing, because all I did was I had a long profile, like no prolonged running, jumping, stooping, and no extra training to go train to be a funeral barrier. Did that and go pick up people that was AWOL from April until that's April. I had to go until March of 1968, really, at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. And in the meantime, like I said, all I did was just pick up AWOL, did funeral details, pull CQ, and that's pretty much that was it. And I guess along the way, stayed drunk, because being in Vietnam that long, being young, I was 20 when I went in the military, actually. So by the time I got back, I was 21. I might have been 20. Well, 21 because when I got out, I think I was 22. I was 22 when I got out. But being hit by the shrapnel, it kind of took me a good while because, like I'm saying, I was split in the center. Both legs had shrapnel in. I had to learn how to walk. They actually told me I wasn't gonna walk again, but through the, I guess through hard work, prayers, and believing in God, is what kept me alive and held me today to where I am right now, to continue to press on and not to look back, but to look forward. After getting out, I didn't want to go to work for a while, but I eventually went back to school, took automotive, and I worked at it was Jennings Exxon at the time. I worked there for about 35 years.
Okay.
And up until 2002, I retired at 2002 at the age of 56. I just had to get out because it was too stressful, and not only that, it became to bother my legs and my back, really. So I just had to get out. And now all I do now is really volunteer work. I'm a volunteer at the Orangeburg VA Medical Clinic here. I volunteer 3 days a week, 4 hours each day.
Vietnam?
I spent 9 months, 26 days in Vietnam.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that like? Did you see a lot of action? Did you see a lot of killing?
I've seen a whole lot of action and did a whole lot of killing. My first day with the company, after just joining them, I had a kill, and that kill really, I couldn't sleep for a while because I wasn't used to killing and hitting folks. And then it was kind of hard to, I guess it was, when you pulling guard duty at nighttime and you are in pitch black dark, it's easier if you're not careful and it's nice and quiet, you can easily fall asleep after walking all day long and humping up and down the boondocks in Vietnam, because plenty of times you had to use machete to cut your trail to go where you was going, and watch out for booby traps and all the other explosives that they had out there. I'll never forget, one day we was going and they walked us into a minefield. And we had to back out of the field. Instead of turning around, we just had to back into your trap out of that minefield to get out safe. Also, going to Vietnam seemed as though when you first get there, especially in a combat unit, because I was with the 1st CAF, 1st of the 5th. The first thing that I remember receiving after that first day in the field was the radio, and that's usually the first thing that the enemy try to take out is the radio. And then when I graduated from the radio, they gave me the machine gun, and that's another thing they try to out is the machine gun, because they want to make sure they kill all the firepower. And after moving up from being machine gunners, became a point guard person. That means I had to learn all the map readings, how to call in my firepower and all that other stuff, and to walk without walking the booby traps when I had my company. I'll never forget before I actually got hurt. It was like in the daytime, we were supposed to go back out and set up an ambush that night. And it's like it is now. You got daylight when you go out, but it's like dusk, dark, and you go out. You could see. But by the time darkness came, you could not really hardly see your hand before your face, and they're talking about sending you back out. And I guess I prayed so hard that night, I don't think I prayed that hard no other time, because the way God had it set to me is that they call off that ambush set up that night, so I didn't have to go, and after that, that's when I made platoon sergeant, so I didn't have to no longer be the person that was with a machine gun, but I still had to watch me. But wasn't very long after that I got wounded though. So